Hi, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. So excited here because it is the finale of Old School April. I decided instead of doing like just week 4 and then the last few days in week 5, I decided instead to combine them both together. Thought that would be a little easier. Have my Beetlejuice shirt on so that I could rep my team. We don't know who won yet. We won't know until I think we're supposed to find out on the 3rd. So, but you know, it's all in fun. I was pretty productive the last week and a couple days, or last week and 3 days, however long it was. But I was pretty productive and did most of the things I set out to do. The only thing I wasn't able to do was the fort, which I really wanted to. I had a lot of fun with it last year. If I can find the picture from last year, I'll insert it here. But yeah, I wasn't able to get on the floor this week. So, other than that, I was able to do most everything I wanted to do. So it's fine. This is going to be more wrap-up style. I'll put a few clips here and there, but otherwise it's going to be pretty much wrap-up style instead of vlog style because I had a lot of appointments and you know, it was just kind of a rough week. So this one's just going to be wrap-up style, and I hope that's fine. Let me let you know what I did. So, curveballs. Week 4 had one curveball from Christine. Christine with Christine's Cozy Corner. I'll link her channel and her Instagram down below. For her curveball, she posted some trivia questions. It was a different question every day, and the rule was you couldn't Google it or, you know, cheat off anybody's answers. You just had to answer it the best you could. That was a lot of fun. There were, I answered 4 correct and got 3 wrong. So, which I knew on the ones I got wrong, I knew I got them wrong because I just had no idea. I just threw an answer out there and said, yeah, I know it's wrong, but here we go. There's an answer because you got a point for just answering. So, and then if you got all of them correct, then you got a trophy for getting them all correct. But I already knew I blew it, but that's fine. It was really fun. It was hilarious to see, some of the answers, and then it was fun to just guess and throw an answer out there. But yeah, it was a blast. Then the other curveball was from Erin at Erin Megan. I will link her channel down below as well. Her curveball, there were 2 different things you could do, or you could do one or both of them. Of course, you get extra points if you do both. One of them was to read a manga. I think it was manga or graphic novel, or maybe it was just a manga, I can't remember. And then the other one was to watch an anime. So I only did one. It's all I had time for, unfortunately. And I read a manga, and I'll get into that in a minute, which one I read. I actually went with my friends, 2 of my friends one day. One of my friends can just read my mind. I don't know how she does it. Well, because we've known each other since, you know, kindergarten. But she texted me out of the blue, and she was like, you know, you've been on my mind a lot lately. What's going on? And I kind of was like, you know, everything's pretty rough. And you know, kind of told her a little bit what was going on, and she was like, we need margaritas, and I was like, absolutely. And she said, I'm on it. So she got into our group chat with our other friend and said, hey, Ashley needs margaritas. And the next day we were having margaritas. So funny, Chili's has, because we just went to Chili's has what's called a Radical Rita, and it is very 80s. It's got a whole 80s vibe to it. It is super cute. That's what I had, because I was like, ooh, this is very Old School April. How did they know I was coming here? But hang on, I'll be right back. I got enough of them to get enough of these drink stirrers to have a set. Look at these little drink stirrers. Are they not so cute? So anyways, I got a bunch of these drink stirrers. Those are adorable. The drinks were actually really good too. I enjoyed them. I saw that and was like, oh my gosh, how did they even know? How did they know we were doing Old School April? It's like they read our minds. So yeah, Kelsey, Chili's happens to be involved in Old School April as well. Who knew? And it was so funny when, we usually share appetizers, but this time I was like, I just want loaded mashed potatoes and a molten chocolate cake, and that's just what I was in the mood for. That's what I had. And then, so that was really good. I finished the diamond painting coasters. I know I showed you a couple of them, so I'll show you the ones that I haven't showed you yet. So we have Pivot. I think this is my favorite scene. It makes me laugh more than any other scene. It's hysterical. Smelly Cat. the duck, the chick. I like how sparkly. I'm gonna get the, you know, the clear coat of stuff you could put on them to protect them so that I can actually use these, but they're so cute. Mood point, Joey. You gotta love Joey. Coasters done. I didn't do another coloring page. I didn't have time to do another coloring page. I really wanted to. I also did the Slumber Party. I didn't get to stay on the whole time or anything. I can't stay up that late. But yeah, so I did stay on the Slumber Party for a while. That was so fun. That's probably my favorite part of the event because the best conversations happen in that Slumber Party. It's hilarious. Everybody's having the best time. You know, people are wearing pajamas and they're having drinks, and it's just the best conversations happen there, and they are hilarious. I laughed so much. And I'm trying to explain some of the references to my husband, like why these things are funny. He's oblivious. He really doesn't care. But because I'm laughing, and he just looks at me like, what is wrong with you? But yeah, I had a lot of fun at the Slumber Party. Even if I didn't get to stay the whole time. I really wanted to stay later, but I couldn't. So that was fun. Watched a lot of YouTube videos of other people doing old school April. I always enjoy doing that. See what everybody else is up to. They were fun. Watched a crap ton of Dawson's Creek, of course. A lot. I watched a lot of Dawson's Creek. I watched over 2 full seasons, and then I couldn't stop watching it because I was really into it, and so I just kept watching it. I just really wanted the trophy, and then, but it's been so long since I've watched Dawson's Creek, so I had forgotten some of the things that had happened. It had been years since I actually watched all of it like that, so I'll probably just keep watching it. Now, even though Old School April is over, I'll still probably keep watching it to see, you know, what happens next, because I actually forgot. And yeah, didn't watch any movies this week or anything like that. I just, like I said, I had so many appointments, I didn't have time. I'll get into the books now. I'll get into what all I read. So I mentioned the manga. That was a challenge. It was the curveball that was put out there by Aaron was to read a manga or watch an anime. And I chose to read volume 2 of Blood on the Tracks by Shuzo Oshimi. I've been wanting to read this one. Once I read the first one, I knew I was going to kind of slowly get through this. I wanted to savor the series. There are 17 books in the series. I have all of them. I know I want to savor them because I have a feeling once it's over, I'm gonna miss reading them. But read this one, and just as effed up as the first one, nice and twisted. This is about if you forgot, this is about like a toxic mother-son relationship, and she's very overbearing. She's very overbearing, and that's all I'll say about it. But yeah, this is very effed up, and I'm told it gets more messed up, and as the series goes, you have that uneasy feeling the whole time, and the sense of dread, and it's just very uncomfortable. That's the best way I could put it. It's very uncomfortable, and yeah, it's very good. It's so realistic. That's the thing that makes this so messed up, I think, is that how realistic it is. This isn't monsters, this isn't werewolves, this is real life, and it's really messed up, but yeah, really good. Gave this one 4 stars. I read another Nightmare Hall book, The Roommate. This one was a lot better than the other one I read. This one, the characters weren't idiots like the other one, because remember the other one I said, you know, the one I felt like they could have got away, and the attacks were really silly. This one was a lot better. It was, to me, more unique, I felt like, and it was more unpredictable. Yeah, it was really good. The characters were interesting. I really enjoyed it. I had a fun time with it. This makes me want to read more Nightmare Hall books, and I probably will get more. But yeah, I know some people say that it's like hit or miss for them with Nightmare Hall. So yeah, this one, I really enjoyed this one a lot more than the other one. I'm glad that I tried another one. And I ended up giving this one 3 stars. Then I read Camp 1985 by Matthew R. Corr. Okay, so this one, I know I told you what this was about before. Yeah, I was back and forth on my rating for this one, but I was between like a 2 and a 3, but I think I'll give it a 3 just because it did keep my interest. And it took I feel like it took forever for anything to happen in this, because, you know, it's supposed to be a slasher. I mean, it's from the slasher verse. So, but I think it probably took half the book for anything to really happen, for anything scary, for anything really exciting to happen. And I'm thinking, do I need to just put this down? Because I was getting kind of bored. And the characters really aren't crazy likable. There's not really a lot of depth to them, which, you know, it's a slasher. You know, they don't really have to be deep in a slasher. That's not really what you're in it for. But yeah, it took for freaking ever. Like, if it's gonna take forever for anything exciting to happen, at least make the characters interesting. So I had a hard time with that. But whenever it did start happening, the kills were really epic. They were really good. Then I was really entertained, and it was a lot faster paced when it, you know, the pace really picked up whenever it did start happening, so that was good. Queer rep in this was really good. This cute little crush thing going on between these two boys, Liam and Ander, so that was really cute. There was a lot of focus on that, almost more so than the slashing. So for it to be a slasher, that was kind of weird. There was something else in here that kind of bugged me, but I can't really say without spoiling anything. But yeah, and then also the way things were left. I know this is part of a series, like there's another one after this, but I don't know that I cared enough for this to read the second one. But the way it left it, you kind of have to read to know what happens next. I don't like when things are left that way. So I know some people don't mind it, but me, like, I have a hard time with it. I have a lot of questions still. So, like, a lot of questions. But that's because things were left in a way that it set things up for the rest of the series is why. And I don't know if there's one more after this or how many are left in the series, but it left things, it just set things up for the series is all it did. And I do understand that because it wants to keep your interest. But I have so many questions. There's leaving things open for the series, and then there's what this was. And it almost left it too open for the series, if that makes sense. But I have so many questions, so many. And like I said, there was another thing that bugged me, can't say. But yeah, this was okay. I don't know that I care enough about it to pick up the next book in the series. I kind of just want to look at spoilers to see what happened and answer my questions. I will say too, if you look at reviews, most people liked this. I'm kind of the minority on this, so most people really enjoyed it. So I'm kind of like the odd one out on that one. Then I read Bad Movie Night by Patrick Lacey. I originally saw this one on Kelsey's channel, and I'm really glad I read it. Freaking loved this one so much. It's kind of what's the word I'm looking for? It's kind of trippy. Like, yeah, I don't want to say too much about it. It is short. It's a novella, so it's pretty short. But yes, there's not really a lot I could say, but I was pleasantly surprised. I figured I was gonna like it because Kelsey and I, we do have similar taste. There's only been a couple times she and I haven't agreed on books, but most of the time we have similar taste. And I really enjoyed this one a lot. This was a surprise in a really good way. It was trippy. It was dark. It was, I didn't know where it was going. And yeah, it was a surprise. I loved that it was kind of like it was set in modern times, but it still had that vintage feel to it, if that makes sense. It was kind of gritty too. And yeah, I liked that vibe. It had this whole vibe to it. And the way that movies, like the way it described movies and the way movies were looked at and the movie references, I really enjoyed. But all in all, I loved it. I have a lot more to say, but I can't say it because I don't want to spoil anything. But just know that I really loved it, and I gave this one 5 stars. Then we have B-Movie Bloodbath by Isaac Nightingale. Oh my God. I freaking love this book. I freaking love this book so much. Unexpectedly, I love this so much more than I ever expected to. And there's a sequel, like there's another one, and I need it so bad. like really bad. It's not really in the budget right now, but I like it bad enough that I'll probably go to Half Price Books and just or maybe sell some books, Half Price Books or somewhere. I'm gonna off some books. I'm gonna offload some books in order to get this book, probably the next book in the series, because I don't want to forget what all happened before I read it, and I loved it. So I know I've told you about what this is about, and the funny thing is, the main character in this is Isaac Nightingale, but they call him Knight. So he made himself a character, which was really cool. This is supposed to feel like a B movie, supposed to feel like a B horror movie, and it does, but it has a lot more depth than that, and that's something that I didn't expect. This guy, whenever he's 19, a tragic thing happens, and he ends up going to prison for a crime that he didn't commit, for a murder that he didn't commit. He himself was actually beaten up and left for dead by these two vampires as well. But no one believed him that, he wasn't the murderer, that he was actually beaten up too by these guys. No one believed that. So he was the only one there. The suspects are gone, so they thought he did it. Well, he goes to prison, he spends time in prison, and so many wild things happen while he's there. So many wild things. He survives prison, but when he gets out, he has this super serum hot sauce running through his veins. Not even going to tell you how that all happens. You would have to read the book to find out. But it does say on the back of the book that he has the hot sauce, so I'm not giving anything away. When he gets out, he knows that he wants vengeance. He wants to find these guys. That's his goal. And he's going to stop at nothing to get that. He ends up on this road trip. He meets a lot of interesting characters along the way, and things get really freaking crazy. The whole book is freaking wild. Like I said, it has so much more depth. It has a little bit more heart. It's very gritty. That's the best way I can put it. It's very gritty. It's violent. It's gory. Check trigger warnings if you have triggers for this one, definitely. But this is freaking epic. It is so good. And the ending does set it up for the next series, but not in a way that you have too many questions. You pretty much know where it's going. It doesn't, yes, it's open-ended to where you know that there's more to this adventure. It left it on a good stopping point to where, yes, there's more to this adventure. There's more to this adventure coming. But yeah, I didn't have too many crazy questions. But yeah, I hope some of the characters from this book come back in the second one. Some of them obviously are not coming back, but Knight, the main character, is one of those guys that you will root for. You can't help but root for. You're going to root for him the whole time. You feel bad for him. But then Knight is the narrator. And so you feel for him. It's like being told a story about a snarky friend. It really is. He's very snarky. He gets himself into all these situations because of his mouth. And it's a really good time. Definitely has that B-movie vibe, but then also, like I said, it does have that depth to it. There's heart to it. There are some rough topics in here too, but then yeah, so much happens. And it's a chunkier book. It's almost 400. It's 375 pages, but worth it. It's worth it. I can't wait to read the second one. Had the best time with this. This is one of my new favorites. And this says horror cult classic. If this were a movie, I could see it being a cult classic. This played out like a movie in my mind because all the characters came to life in my mind. All the scenes came to life. They were just vivid to me. It was so action packed, and it was full. There were so many characters, so many vivid characters, and so many unique characters, and so many wild scenes, and there were some very wild kills in this, and just some really crazy things happen. But yeah, this was epic, and I would definitely recommend this. So this was just all around an excellent time. And I can't freaking wait to get my hands on part 2. I don't think I can even wait for next April because it was so good. Next week, you're gonna have 2 videos. On Tuesday, I'm gonna put out my May TBR. Doing things a little different for this TBR, you'll see. And then next Friday, I'm gonna go ahead and put out another Old School April video, but this one's gonna be more like a highlights video. I'm not gonna do a wrap up of everything because that would just be a lot. But what I'm gonna do is like a highlights. Maybe the best, the worst, I don't know. Maybe I'll just do like a rapid fire, like this is how many books I read, this is how many shows I watched, this is the movies I watched. I'm not gonna go into detail about everything, but then I'm gonna wrap it, then I'm gonna like say these are my top 5. Like this is the 5 of my favorites and all that. I'm not gonna go into detail about every single thing I did because that would be too much. But it's just gonna be like a highlights reel is all I'm gonna do. And yeah, I think that's the plan. I might take a little break in May and take like a week off, but I haven't decided yet. I may not, I don't know, but I might. I don't know. But either way, I will see you on Tuesday. Bye for now.